Eddie Hearn, we spoke about Boots and maybe Vergil Ortiz later in the year. It's been announced Vergil Ortiz versus
Lubin.
Big fight. Great fight. Stylistic little southpaw against a very tough. Your thoughts on that fight?
Good fight, yeah. I mean, I hope he wins. I think he will. I think he's a favourite going into the fight, but it's a good fight. I mean, both guys, obviously we have Lima, who, might not have the profile of Lubin, but is, just as good, just as tough as Erickson Lubin. And we've got to come through in October. I think it's November the 8th, is it? Or whatever it is.
So the 8th, yes.
Yeah, the 8th for two great 154 fights on DAZN. Then we're done. Let's make sure that by the time Vergil Ortiz wins, we're in the ring with him, announcing that fight for February, whatever it is, of 2025. That's the fight. There's no reason why we can't make it done. We've sat in the meetings with Golden Boy and DAZN. We're all on the same platform. I want to make the best fights in the world. Oscar wants to make the best fights in the world. Let's make it happen.
Virgil against Madrimov, you were there. How did you sort of see that fight, based off what you did?
Yeah, I mean, look, Madrimov had, no excuses. He had a chest infection. He was supposed to fight Bohacic. He had a chest infection, bronchitis actually, and he couldn't fight against Bohacic. He probably came back a little bit early, and I don't think he was 100% in that fight. It was actually quite a close fight. Vergil won fair and square. The style of Madrimov is difficult for anyone. We saw that against Crawford. He's not an easy guy to fight. So Vergil Ortiz is a very good fighter. I just truly believe that his style is absolutely tailor-made for Jaron Ennis.
Really?
And by the way, it's not an easy fight, but it's a great fight. And I believe that is the fight that shows everybody that Boots is a top pound-for-pound star. They're both two tremendous, young, undefeated fighters. That is the kind of fight that we want to see. And actually, when you look at Canelo Crawford, which is a generational great fight, they are two guys that are probably one fight away, 2 fights away from it being all over. They're in their deep 30s. These guys are in their 20s, absolute prime. And I just hope they can both come through in October and November and we can just get the fight made.
You spoke about him before, Joseph Parker. There was some feedback last week around Usyk versus Parker. We think that's fallen through. I want to be very honest. Do we need to see Usyk versus Fury 3?
No, I don't. I mean, it's like
I agree.
It's like saying, do we need to see Usyk against AJ? Not really. I mean, will we watch it? Yeah. Would I love AJ to get him another crack? Yeah. Would you watch Usyk Fury? Yeah. But the reality is both guys were beaten twice, fair and square. They were competitive fights, particularly AJ 2 and also the Fury fights. But neither man won either fight. Why do you need to run it back for a third, other than we just, you want another go or you think we can beat him? Right now, AJ needs to come back and make a statement and then jump into a big fight, hopefully against Tyson Fury. And right now, with Fury's inactivity, there is no way he could compete with Alexander Usyk. He's on fire at the moment, and he's active and he's in training all the time. So listen, if Fury comes back and beats AJ or vice versa, AJ, maybe then they get a shot at number 3, but I just don't see the demand for either fight right now.
Would you, obviously this is a loaded question, but would you send, based off the way Jake and Joshua sort of, it didn't fall through, but Jake's going on a bit of an exhibition clown show, but would you throw Joshua into Fury next?
Yeah, but I don't think Tyson Fury would go into AJ next.
Okay.
I think he wants a run-out fight. By the way, I think we would prefer a run-out fight as well before that.
26.
It's been a year out now for AJ. The fight's not going to take place till, if they turn around and went December, maybe. But they're not going to. I don't think, if at all, I don't think Fury's going to fight till spring, summer of next year. So we can't wait a year and a half off the Dubois feet and then fight and then come back into Fury. We don't need to. We're ready to go. Very early, probably 2026. So we have a fight, I think Fury has a fight, and then we get it made. But that's down to Tyson Fury. I mean, we can't, at the moment he's retired and he's not showing any signs of coming back, to be fair to him. I think he will, personally. But until he does, it's just pie in the sky.
The last 48 hours, and we spoke about it first around the world, Jake versus Gervonta. There's been a lot of mixed feedback online. A lot of people trashing it. You spoke about it yesterday on Fight Hype and all our other channels. It's a bit of a joke. What are your thoughts about when the people come out? Have the people spoken about this sort of exhibition?
I think that you just on this stuff, you just got to kind of be honest, and you got to say you can't blame Gervonta Davis for doing it. I mean, I love the romance of legacy, right? the famous saying, you can't eat legacy, right? This kid probably spends quite a bit of money, probably got a few tax bills coming up, and it's like he needs to make money. So when you sit down, and this is the same with the AJ against Jake Paul, like, you might as well just be honest with it. But with Gervonta Davis, you sit down in a meeting, or whoever you're dealing with, and you say, look, there is 5 million, 7 million, 8 million, whatever it is, to fight Lamont Roach, right? It's a 50-50 fight with Lamont Roach right now. If you lose to Lamont Roach, you are totally fucked, really. And he'd probably never fight again, because I just couldn't imagine him trying to rebuild, right? Or you can get 25, 30 million for what, I don't know what the deal is, to have an 8-round exhibition with 14-ounce gloves on against Jake Paul. Now, what it does is it completely removes the legacy factor from Gervonta Davis, where the fight fan, which is us, goes, that's a shame, I would have liked to see him fight Tank or chase greatness. He's not interested in chasing greatness. Not everyone is like that. What he's interested in is money. And I don't think any of us should judge in that respect. Like, the bottom line is if until you're put in that position, what would you do? Would you really turn down 30 million just because someone said that I should be chasing legacy? Now, if you've got the money and you really believe that and you feel that strongly about the legacy, I mean, what a beautiful decision to turn down a fight like that and chase legacy. But everyone's entitled to their own decision, and everyone's entitled to do business their way. So not everyone's the same. But I do think there's, a lot of the people that criticise, given the option to make the decision, would find it very difficult to turn down that opportunity. That's the reality. But we can't, if being a true great is important to you, then you probably wouldn't take the fight, and you would rematch Roach, you would fight Shakur, you would step up, you would fight Teofimo, you would do all this kind of stuff. But only certain amount of people love boxing in that way. Shakur's one of them. I think given the opportunity, I don't think Shakur would really want to do it, if I'm honest. He might do it for 30 million or whatever, but he wants to go down as a great. Gervonta Davis will never go down as an all-time great. He doesn't have the consistency or the staying power to perform at that level consistently. I don't think he likes boxing anymore. He gets himself in trouble. He wants money. Like, it's just, you've got to have a certain type of temperament where you can retire with 30 belts on the wall and you say, I'll go down as an all-time great.
Floyd Mayweather, some of them,
there you go. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. So, and Floyd loves money more than anything. But Floyd also cared about legacy.
Big time.
And that's why you have to respect him, because of the consistency that he showed over the years.
Facts.
Of living the life, right? And fighting at the highest level for so long. Special kind of people can do that. So at the end of the day, do we blame Tank? Not really. But I think he's just showing us where he's at. And I don't, again, people can sit behind an Instagram or a keyboard and criticise people's decisions. But let's just be honest about it. Like, given the opportunity, what would you really do? And I don't know Gervonta's financial situation, and I'd like to think he's got money. I mean, he's made a lot of money, but if he spent it and if he's made some bad decisions, he might be looking at it and going, you know what? I run this little exhibition. I'm good for life. My kids are good for life. This really sets me up to live a perfect life forever. So I'm going to do it. And by the way, maybe after that I'll come back and fight Lamont Roach. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think he's going to have the appetite to fight. See, Lamont Roach, he'll be a hungry fucker. Lamont Roach will just be thinking, I want to beat Gervonta, become a 2-time world champion, 2-division world champion. That's important to me. I don't know Lamont Roach, but I get the feeling he's from that same school. Shakur and like these guys, they care about belts, they care about legacy.
Devin's the same as well.
Yeah, he is. But he's changed. Devin's changed. Because Devin's fallen out of love with the sport of boxing because of what happened with Ryan Garcia and other bullshit as well, you see? So Devin, when he started, all he wanted to do was chase greatness. I don't think he's like that anymore.
Do you blame him though?
No, I mean, I think it was a rough ride what happened to him in the Ryan Garcia fight, but it wasn't just what happened to him, it was people's responses. Like, he became the villain in a fight where he got bashed up by a guy that had performance enhancing drugs in his system. And that should never have been that way. And I think it made Devin fall out of love with the sport of boxing. And I think now a big part of Devin's just fighting for money. And that's when it becomes dangerous, because you're not the same fighter.
Is Brian Norman about money?
No, not yet. And that's why that fight is very dangerous. And there's a very good chance Devin Haney could lose that fight.
Do you like that fight?
not for Devin. But you see now, Nuna, what's happened is Bill and Devin, they're not looking strategically. They're looking for the bag. That's it, right? So they're like, where can we make our 5, 6, 7 million? What fight? That's why they said we'll fight Boots at 147. We're like, well, we're going up, but we'll fight you at 150. Oh, all right, we'll fight Teofimo. We'll fight Brian Norman. Well, because they just wanted the money.
This was happening in New York when we were there, remember?
Yeah, but they just want the money. So they don't care now. Like back in the day, Bill was a lot more selective and tactical about who to fight. Now he just wants the money, which shows me, by the way, there's still a good fight. I mean, also, it's not just the money. If he beats Brian Norman, he becomes a 3-division world champion, which is a great achievement. But there's definitely, in my opinion now, the Haneys are looking at the situation and looking at money, rather than legacy. They still care, but not in the same way.
You've managed and promoted some fighters that have made some massive money. You know what I mean? Like Anthony Joshua's made massive money. When we go back to Floyd, right, from 213 to 217, he made 765 million in 4 years. But from 13 to 17, he stayed completely focused on the task, the training, the diet. I know it all looked flashy and that. I'm going to get back to Gervonta. When you talk about Gervonta fighting Jake, is it because he's forced to now because of his financial situation? Well, we're hearing he's not great.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
He has to do it, Ed.
Yeah, maybe, but you can listen. If he fights Lamont Roach and makes 6, 7, 8 million, then all of a sudden, you know, that's a lot of money to help out. But this is one where he goes, "Oh, I'll take this one. I'm good," you know. So we'll see.